Hello everyone, I know it's been a while since I've recorded a video / posted a video, but I finally got time to do another one. First note, I know that my green screen is being very glitchy, so sorry about that, but I wanted to make sure you could see more of the screen. And the, oh, can you hear me? Yeah, you can. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to showcase a farm that I've been working on in the new 20W, oh, what's it called again? 20W48A snapshot that added dripstone to Minecraft. I wanted to make a lava farm. Now, important note, the dispensers cannot remove liquids from cauldrons. So if I do this real quick, should have prepared this ahead of time, but nope. If I do this, it doesn't work, and if I add a bucket to it, it just puts it in. So that doesn't work. So in order to make a lava farm using the dripstone mechanic, I had to make this semi-automatic so the player is AFK while working on it. Other important note though, the basis of the whole farm. I already got a cauldron, didn't I? Nope. If you have dripstone and lava above it, one moment, then slowly over time, give me a second, there, that will drip slowly, and if I turn up the random tick speed real quick, you can see that eventually, on some random tick, it will fill up the cauldron. And something that is in Minecraft, which is really helpful, is you can move cauldrons with pistons. So I make use of that too. But that's the basic mechanic of the dripstone. You can also put water here and have it fill up cauldrons with water instead. But I don't think that's quite as useful. At least not at the moment. Oh, also dripstone falls. If you want to know more about what happened in the snapshot, you can look at other YouTubers' videos. I don't have time to make that right now, or I might, but I'm not going to. Too many other people have already done that. So yeah. Now that you know the basic concept of the farm, the actual part that's doing the work here. Oop! I should probably turn the random tick speed back down to its normal value of 3. That way we can demonstrate how the farm actually is supposed to work. So I'm using a feed tape of cauldrons here that, yeah, just basically get pushed in a circle. It makes it so that that a whole bunch can fill up at once. It makes the farm faster. This could probably be made more efficient, just so you know. This is a proof of concept. But I'm pretty happy with it. So that's the main system here. The player stands in here. I will give a demonstration of how this works later. But for now, that's that system. I also designed, there's definitely a better design, but I've designed shulker loading and unloading spots here so that you can insert empty buckets into the system, either by just putting them in manually or by putting shulkers in. I will demonstrate that later. And you can either get the lava buckets directly, like it'll end up like that in the chest. Just remove that for now. I don't want these in my inventory. Go away. You know what? Aside from that, I'm just going to clear my inventory. Great. There we go. And the other things that I will need for demonstration is just going to be shulkers. Actually, only one shulker. No, I'll have two. And buckets. There we go. So, I've wired it up so that you can have the lava buckets either end up in this gigantic storage. It needs to be this big because lava buckets don't stack. However, empty buckets do. So this needs to be 16 times bigger than the empty buckets. Yeah, and you can get the filled lava shulkers out if you turn on that system. I also have just a bunch of indicator lights alongside this to tell you when it's active, when it's loading or unloading, when various things are full, and when it's out of things. So that's that system. Just for reference later, this system I believe is the shulker filler. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, this is the shulker filler, and then this is the shulker emptier. Now, I just want to check. Yeah, I didn't leave any in the system. Good. So now, how the system actually works is you need to have... Actually, wait, first... You can insert... there we go. So you can get... what was I trying to say? Yeah, so if you want to fill this up either manually, you can just put buckets manually, or you can grab shulkers and you can put... I'm just going to put 2 in for demonstration, but you can put as many as you want in here and it'll fill up until it's full. And you can see after a bit of time for the system to start up, the shulker unloading light will turn on here. Let's give it a few seconds for the shulkers to actually get into the system. There we go. And soon you will see, yep, that'll start doing that. Now that can run on its own while the system is running or not, it doesn't matter. And I'll demonstrate the output later. So now for this to work, you need to have a full inventory, so I'm just going to fill it like this. Oop, I need a bit more. And you also need some number greater than 2 buckets, or greater than 1 bucket, something like that, in your inventory. Once you do that, I'm just going to jump into survival here. The way you start is quite easy. You just step in here. I have it labeled, that's how you open the door. And then to start the farm, you can just press this button, and then you just hold right click here. And while you're AFK, or whatever, it'll do this until it either gets a full output, or you run out of buckets, or something else in the system gets full or empty. And you can see these just cycle around. It empties the cauldrons, they fill over time. This system also works if one of the cauldrons somehow isn't filled by the time it gets back, because it's random. It will not break the system. I have a filter in place for that. And so yeah, this will just keep running and until you run out of buckets. You can see that the system automatically refills the buckets in my inventory every time, and also filters out the lava buckets after. And then once you're done, I'm just gonna say that that's probably good for demonstration. Wait a moment, then leave. Sometimes you may end up with an extra bucket coming out. I don't have a way to avoid that, but it's not really a big problem. You can just put it back into the system if that happens. And stepping on the pressure plate will automatically shut down the farm because no player is in there to run it. Let's jump back into creative real quick. You can see now that running that, I have my lava in the output here. For demonstration here, I'm going to fill this up. Say this has been running for quite a while. Okay, and this will just fill up over time until the whole storage is full, or you run out of buckets in the input or something. So, you can see that now I have lava in the output. You saw how to get buckets and things in the input, and you saw the control systems here. You can still see still unloading. And you can't really see because you can't see it while you're in there, but this light does in fact turn on when the farm is active. I'm going to do that real quick. But now, say you don't want to have to go through and, pick up all the lava buckets from all of the chests. That'll take forever. You can just turn on this. It'll start draining the lava buckets from all of the chests, and it'll just drain them in order, kind of. But eventually it'll filter through. You can see that once they get far enough, this light will turn on. And eventually, once it actually fills, the shulker will end up in the output there. I don't actually remember exactly how long it takes. Most of the time is just getting the items one side to the other. The actual farm can run as fast as the hoppers can, or the actual loaders, unloaders can run as fast as the hoppers can move items, minus maybe 1 per full chest. So that's really quick. And you can see it fills those, and it'll automatically turn off that system again. See it turned off. And we got our outputs of the shulker boxes, so you then have full there. So yeah, if you need to, you can put empty shulkers in here on your own. Like if you, like I can just do this and it'll put that into the system for later. The system automatically shuts down if it runs out of an input or if the output buffer is full to avoid any possible breakages. And the other thing that can happen here, if you put empty bucket shulker boxes into the system, actually for demonstration. Yeah. Yeah, for demonstration, I'm just going to fill these up 2 rows. Don't want that one. There we go. So for demonstration, if I do this, you can see that that will now start unloading, but it's kind of hard to catch. But once it's done unloading a shulker, not only puts the shulker, or puts the buckets into here, it also puts the empty shulker boxes back into the storage system so that they can be used automatically. So you can see if I come down into the redstone here, the unloader here sends the empty shulker boxes back into the input for the loading system over here. So yeah, now that we've seen how the farm works, I can turn this back off real quick. Yeah, you've seen the farm works, I'm going to try to demonstrate how it works. Or yeah, I'm going to try to basically give a tour of it. So the first important system is the feed tape over here. This is pretty much just a conventional feed tape. I just have cauldrons with dripstone above them, above every single one, and lava. So that's the filling system. And these just get slowly pushed in a circle when the farm is running. The player stands right there, so every time a new cauldron gets pushed in front of it, yeah, you can get a bucket out. And I had to put this block here because while the cauldron's moving, the player can actually interact with the hopper, and that breaks the system. So that block is necessary. I guess the next important system is just let's go with this one. Empty buckets end up in here. And while the farm is running, so I'm just going to pretend that this is running, this will constantly be active. I have it shutting down that clock while it's not running to reduce lag problems. But what that does, I'm just going to take it out, that just brings the empty buckets up a level. I didn't want to use water elevators so that you don't lose items from despawning, for example. So I'm just going to let that finish. There we go. So, yes. Empty buckets get fed all the way around here. It's quite a long and sneaky line here. I have 2 systems in here that you can kind of see that'll show elsewhere. there's this system, which I will explain in a moment. This is just basically a small regulator. And this system, which is a sorter for in here, because if a cauldron does not have lava in it, then there'll be just an extra empty bucket. So that needs to be picked up. It gets picked up by the hoppers, and empty buckets sorted out and fed back into the system. And lava buckets just bypass that and go right into the giant tower here that runs in time with the system here. That just brings the items back up top into the storage. The two systems there, one is this system. It's just a filter. So if I grab, I forgot, did I make this a trap chest? Yeah, I did, good. Trap chests are nice for testing. Let's grab lava. I actually use the same system one other spot later. No, I'm just gonna do this. I want to demonstrate this with a random arrangement. Just have one or two that just have a line of a couple. And then lava buckets. So this will sort out the buckets for the lava buckets. This is a basic sorter. So you can oh yeah, my testing with the shulker box here. Yeah, you can see that lava buckets end up in here. Normal buckets end up in here. Well, at least they do when they don't have it open. Because these are trap chests, items don't flow through the hoppers when they're open, which is why I use them for testing. And yeah, so that system just sorted out the buckets and lava buckets separately. Or at least mostly. I forgot to empty it, but yeah, that's how that system works. And the little tiny cube thing that I mentioned, this thing, that's a regulator to make sure that items always flow one way if they can, and if they can't, they flow another way. So if I, say, fill all of this with buckets, that will filter through, and it will always be through here. However, if buckets are in here, it will not let any leave this container until this one is done. There. Now this is already pretty much full from testing previously, but yeah, you get the idea. So that's the other important system. The way I have it arranged here, I already explained the sorter. The regulator here ensures that if an empty bucket gets sorted out, it will always end up being used before any of the extra buckets, like the supply that you add in, so that the system here so that the system that brings lava buckets through will never get clogged because of that. So that's that system, and I'm pretty happy with that. So that's the farm. That's most of the actual farm. Of course, there's a bunch of regulator redstone like this. If we run out of empty buckets, it will send a signal into here, which shuts down the farm. It turns it off completely. As well as the dropper tower. So basically the whole farm shuts down if that happens. Except for the unloader and loader systems. And all of these lines out here are just going to the indicator lights I mentioned earlier. They're pretty much just redstone lines. I'm not going to take the time to describe them. I'm using target blocks here so that I can, well, this is the system that controls whether lava buckets are being fed into shulkers or not. So basically, I'm going to demonstrate this with a lever real quick. If I turn that lever on, that says that system should be running, the shulker loading system. It turns off all of these, it unlocks all of the hoppers, and lets any lava buckets in any of these chests come out and into the processing, into the loading system. And I'm using targets so that these redstone blocks point at the target blocks. Just a really nice feature. I'm really happy with the target block. So yeah, that's the main systems there. The loader and unloader here, I'm not going to take too much time to explain, but this one, if I remember correctly, one moment. This one is... this one's the loader. So if I put in lava buckets here, let's say I'm just going to demonstrate this. It will feed it into the shulker, and once it's full, this is a really simple system that I'm really proud of. Once it's full, it'll break, it'll put a new shulker down, and I'll get the output of a full shulker. And that works continuously. And now this one, the unloader, not being very reliable for location. There's an easy way to get around it, but you can see in the system I have 2 output chests connected into the system itself. This system is designed to, here, I'm going to demonstrate this if I can. It gets unloaded, and you can see the buckets end up out here. And this one is timed so that as soon as the shulker is empty, which it will be soon, give it a moment, it locks the hopper under here, which lets the shulker box, the empty one, come out here, but nothing else. And that works really well right here. But for some reason, when I moved it over here, no matter the rotation, I tried that, it didn't work. You can see that I have that disabled here. This piece can actually be completely removed. I just wanted to leave it in to remind myself, oh, this was a problem and this is how I fixed it. So yeah, so that system's completely disabled. Instead, I just have a system that's, since I know that none of these shulkers coming in will have anything other than empty buckets, I have a filter sorting out the empty buckets and from the empty shulkers. So the empty shulkers will always just end up going past, and the empty buckets will end up going down, then up a quick dropper elevator here that I'm really happy with, into their own system. This wall of blocks here is just elevators for the items, and both of these sides have logic to say, if there isn't something up here, so if the system is not full, I guess is a good way to say that, then and the input has something in it, which I think I can demonstrate a little bit here, then let the system up. So basically, yeah, so this system is just saying, if it isn't full and there's something down there, let it through. Now I just realized I'm actually breaking the system right now by testing it like this, but I can fix that. So yeah, right now, yeah, because I put empty buckets in here, that broke everything. Luckily it's an easy fix, which is just break that, pick that up, and then put this back. Yeah. So yeah, so that's that system. And yeah, the rest of this is just wiring for logic and control circuits. Like, for example, this wire is checking, is the empty bucket storage full? If so, send an indicator light that says it's full, and also stop the unloader, because I don't want to unload more buckets if they don't have somewhere to go. That ensures that system doesn't break. And the rest of these are similar control signals. Yeah, I think that's everything demonstrated. I have no clue what the rates for this farm is. As I said, it was more of a proof of concept. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just flying around checking that I didn't forget anything else. I don't think so. Actually, I can demonstrate a little bit of this working by tricking the system into thinking that I am here. A moment. There, this system thinks I am now in the box and just started it. Luckily it doesn't break anything. but it's also lag, so that's why I have that as a failsafe. But you can see it running. Just it cycles the lava cauldrons around. If one is empty, it doesn't really matter, but it'll get filled up eventually. And the yeah, right here you can see the empty buckets being filtered out with the priority lane here. And also, because the system will only ever output one lava bucket per, iteration every time it moves, this dropper tower only has to move that once. So if I do this, that just put the lava bucket in. But it's never going to have to do anything more than that. So yeah, I think that's the entire system. Oh, and you can see that the system knows it's active now. I'm going to shut this down real quick. There we go. Just going to remove these. I don't want them in the system. There. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, and you can see that the empty shulkers, or the empty bucket shulkers, are now completely unloaded. So you can see that the system worked. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this showcase. And yeah, if you liked the video, please like. If you think it deserved it. And if you are not subscribed and you want to be subscribed, or know when videos come out and things like that, I'll try to do better with my schedule. Then you can, subscribe. Notifications, I really don't know how much those actually do, but you can do that if you want. It's just an option. So yeah. Oh, also check out a friend's channel, Elite Dragon. It's completely different, but I wanted to give him a shout out. And he's a really good both person and YouTuber. So yep. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in another video or live stream. This one isn't live streamed, but yeah, I normally do live streams. So yeah, goodbye.